Hi all, we're looking at a Canon build of the Refit Sovereign class, or the Enterprise E, as she may have appeared following the events of Star Trek Nemesis after her battle with the Raymond Scimitar. So in the final scene we do see her get a refit, or at least being rebuilt. So this is based on sketches by John Eves and also, well, the Refit Sovereign appearance we get from the legendary Sovereign class. So major differences being the wider, larger pylons, more armored hull, and extra weapon ports, as well as the much darker hull material. Of course, I will also talk about ways to make this build similar to the way she appeared before the refit, but we'll get to that. So, build. So because this is a Canon build, we are more interested in appearance rather than stats, but of course, I still made her effective at elite level. That being said, let's start with weapons. So I'm using Agony phasers, which are the best type of TNG style phasers available in the game. So of course, being that it's a Canon build, you can still use regular phasers, fleet phasers, or colony phasers if you want to, because they all have the same visuals. So, but I'm personally using Agony phasers because yeah, they're the most effective out of these versions. So a full suite of them. I got myself the wide-angle quantum torpedo launcher, which comes free with all C-Store versions of the Sovereign class. So being that the quantum torpedo was a major part of the Sovereign class, we're going to highlight that using this. Now, in the movies, it only had one quantum torpedo launcher, while all the other torpedo launchers were photon torpedoes. But being that this is an extrapolation of refit, we're going to assume that the refit would also include a full suite of quantum torpedoes, so the aft torpedo is also a quantum torpedo. Of course, if you want to go for a full Canon pre-refit look, you can put a photon torpedo here and an extra photon torpedo in the front, but then you would make your ship slightly less effective unless you want to try the torpedo boat route, but then you would skip out on phasers unless you make a very weird mix. So we're going to go with this one. As for this, I'm just using the Soul Defense impulse engines. I'm not investing too much into this character, but being that it doesn't appear too much on the ship, you can use it whatever set of deflector, impulse, warp, and shields you want, so that's up to you. For devices, regular stuff just to boost myself. Vulnerability locators phasers, this is just for damage boosting. The domino for damage boosting, also for damage boosting. This is also for damage boosting. This just as a survivability tactic, but it's not going to go too much into this build. And this is the 3-piece set of the Sovereign 3-piece. So we have the Metreon gas warhead launcher. This one is not Canon, but it's part of the set, so we're using it. The Metreon gas canisters is definitely Canon, so this ejects the Metreon gas, as seen in Star Trek Insurrection, called the Riker maneuver. And we got the incremental phase cloaking device, which is a phase cloak, which was researched by Starfleet and implemented on this ship, as we see here. So we will be using these three in combat, as this is, well, the refit of the Sovereign. But I'm going to throw out the abilities that she would otherwise not have, such as the obfuscations, that thing, this thing, obfuscation screen, right, that. I'm going to throw away the Agony field because this is not a Terran ship, and we'll keep the rest. And as part of the 3-piece set, we have a battle cloak, so cool. So as for traits, nothing much to highlight, just regular traits, not the focus of a Canon build, so, but a few things to highlight. So we got plot armor because, of course, it's a hero ship. It must have plot armor. And Mercy Weapon Cycle, Entwined Tactical Matrices, Honored Dead. This is definitely not Canon, but Yeah. And best diplomat, just stuff. So you know what? For the sake of canonicity, if that's a word, let's turn this off. And let's, yeah, take her to combat. But of course, let's have a little bit of look at bridge officer abilities. Just a few things to highlight. Some very basic abilities here, such as photonic officer for recharge, narrow sensor bands, and mixed armament synergy, because this is a miracle worker ship, we'll be using these. And otherwise, it's just some very basic stuff. Alright, yeah, let's go to combat. So, the Enterprise was part of the assistance with the Romulans after Star Trek Nemesis, but being that it's 2411, alliances have changed a lot, so let's take out some Romulans, some Tal Shiar, actually. So the wide-angle quantum torpedo has a 180-degree targeting arc, which allows you to broadside and fire the torpedoes at the same time. So it pairs well with mixed armament synergy, which, while I'm charging the power with the phasers, I can fire off torpedoes. There goes some Metreon gas. Let's use the Riker maneuver. Oh. I made a very newbie mistake there. When fighting a Derrick's class, do not approach more than 5 kilometers, otherwise they will pull you with their tractor beam. And as you saw, I almost died. Alright, let's take advantage of the battle cloak and use the cloak ambush against Romulans. You know what, maybe I should have kept the the honor death trait because I'm having a little bit of trouble surviving now. I'll be sure to note that in future Canon builds. Alright, we're gonna use the Riker maneuver one more time and then gonna end this. So one problem with the Riker maneuver, just like eject warp plasma, it's very hard to get enemy ships to go into it. But one difference between this and eject warp plasma is of course being able to detonate it. But yeah, I think this is over. Let's get out of here. Now some are going to call this treaty violation, but the Romulan Star Empire kind of just failed to exist after loss of the homeworld, so Alright, so yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Helps out the channel quite a lot, and it's free, so why not? Also, you can contribute to my Patreon if you want to, link in the description, where you also find the link to membership and my Discord server, where you can speak to fans and I directly. Alright, see y'all next time. Bye!